to snip that nine, hoping you get back and smell it through the wrap. And you knowing you can flip that bitch up Picasso, yeah. Macho, nigga. Huncho, burritos, tacos, we flip those and make more than we get more.
What up, though? OG Kenny, O_G_ Kenny, back for another installment of Retired from the Streets TV, right? So, let's not forget Friday. It's another Let's Not Forget Friday, and I'm still in Virginia. And this here story, right, it's going to be covering something I covered previously on another Let's Not Forget Friday, where we talking about, like, I was baffled when I first got down there and found out they had the death penalty, right? So, can you imagine, like, look, I just recently, the other week, one of my ex-girlfriends, she pulled up on me and said, hey, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, we can kick it, you know. You know, it's still, like, ain't no bad blood or nothing. It's still all love, so ain't nothing, like, you know, crazy about her saying, let's pull up and talk. And we just had a nice heart-to-heart about things we saw when we went wrong at, where I was wrong, where she possibly was wrong and whatnot. So, you know, we just called peace. We sit there and chopped it up, laughed for a minute, and then, you know, called it a day. That's my dog still, right? And we were just talking about things that we could implement in our future relationships that will make things last. Now, my mother and my father would have been married 21 years the year that he was murdered. You understand what I'm saying? So, just think about that, right? All that time you put in with somebody, more than half your adult life. Think about 25 years, right? So, Helen Bedsoe, you know, had been married to her husband, Clark, for 25 years and wanted a divorce. She was in the middle of divorce, and I guess he didn't take kindly to that. Or maybe he just didn't want nobody else to have her. Either he didn't want nobody else to have her, he had a jealous rage, or he just was being vindictive. Maybe it was an insurance policy. I don't know. But one of his, I guess you could say suppliers, right, was a young dude named Marlan Dewayne Williams. They had been dealing with each other for 4 years, according to court records, where Marlan Dewayne Williams was supplying cocaine to Clark Bedsoe, right? So one day, Clark, you know, in the middle of this divorce, Clark Bedsoe's hollering at young Marlan Dewayne Williams at 20 years old and saying, hey, I need you to do something for me, man. I want to get rid of my wife, and I want to pay you $4,000 to do it. So Marlan Dewayne Williams said, hey, I'm with it. And according to court records, that was right up Marlan Dewayne Williams' alley. So, on November the 9th, 1993, while Helen Bedsoe was in her kitchen, minding her business, probably doing what women do when they get off work or on the evening at home, they cooking and getting things ready for the night, and probably envisioning, hey, I'm about to be single for the first time in 25 years. I'm about to be free of this burden of marriage. I'm about to finally have time to myself, to reinvent myself, to do what I need to do. She had a 21-year-old daughter, you know, who she possibly, you know, looking forward to spending more time with her daughter. Who knows? But that didn't happen. On this particular night, Marlan Dewayne Williams found his way into her home, and with a Colt 380 revolver, crept up behind her and gave her two to the rear of her cranium, and that was that, you know. I'm trying to give y'all this picture as clear as possible by also not making it so shocking and gory, and you know, keeping it PC, man. But I think that's one of the most cowardly things you can do, man. I think that's one of the most cowardly things you can do, sneak up behind the individual to do something to him. Because if you're gonna do something to an individual, my father always say, when you sock somebody, when you punch somebody, look them in the eye so they know you're serious, so they know you meant it. Look them in the eye when you socking them. When you inflicting pain on them, shut your mouth, stop talking so much, and look them in the eye. So you doing a hit for hire for a man who couldn't do it himself. And then this is like, bro, I mean, I don't get it. I never get it, and I hate it. And I remember watching, what is that, America's Most Wanted, and I kept seeing so many cases. It was like an epidemic of men offing women. You know what I'm saying? And it just baffled me as to what sickness runs through the mind of a man who got the I don't know, the wherewithal or whatever you want to call it. I can't call it the courage, but you got the gall to go and take a woman's life. Anybody really, man. That take a lot of like something sick in your mind to go out and just be whacking people, right? But a woman, come on. And my thing is like, I'm thinking about all the women who just like, I'm not happy. I want to get out of my situation. Is this y'all only option out of a relationship, right? So, you know, after Marlon Dewayne Williams committed this atrocity against Helen Bedsoe, he on the phone running his mouth, talking about it, bragging about it like it was something cool to do, like it was like a badge of honor. Yeah, I did that. I went up in there and bop bop and all this, right? To an informant who was having the phone conversation taped. So you're telling on yourself, bragging. And this is how police catch up with him. This is how they charge him. This is how they convict him. And this is how he was sentenced in court. You know, he pled guilty. He pled guilty to kind of try to spare himself the capital punishment, to be put in the chamber, to go through lethal injection. He pled guilty. But the judge said, nah. You're very manipulative. You're very assaultive. What did he say? I'm going to give you the exact one. You're very manipulative, aggressive, and dangerous and violent person. And you committed this cold-blooded act for no reason whatsoever except money. And his judge, and then once he was convicted, right, that was 1993. Right, well, 95, I'm sorry. In 96, they tried to put an appeal in, because you got to put them appeals in right away, really. He tried to put an appeal in, and the basis for his lawyer's argument was that he went through an abusive childhood. He was beat when he was coming up. He went through this, he went through that, and all that, right? And her daughter, I think her name is Shirley Bedsoe. Maybe y'all get in the comment section and correct me, but Helen Bedsoe's daughter said, hey, what me and my brother had just experienced the last 6 years still don't give us the right to go out and just whack somebody. And we've been tormented emotionally and otherwise because of the loss of our mother and how it happened. And our father had something to do with this. This is what's running through their mind, right? They tried to play this, oh, he went through this, that, and the judge wasn't buying it. Nobody was buying it, right? So they refused to block, in U.S. Supreme Court, they refused to block his date for the chamber of, for the gas chamber or, the lethal injection chair. And rightfully so, man. Rightfully so. Because you were talking about a mother, somebody who's trying to move on with herself and, start over new. And that ain't cool, man. It's cowardly, it's whack, it's weak. What ended up happening was in 1999, August the 17th. This is why the story is a little deep. My brother's birthday, August the 17th, in a few days. They locked us down early. Later on that night, we already knew what the play was. When they lock us down early, get us ready. We know it's the execution about to be taking place, right? They lock us down early. We get the news later on. Marlon Dewayne Williams died at 26 years old by lethal injection in Greensville Correctional Facility, Virginia. And it's like, whoa. He had a request for a last meal, but he didn't want that information disclosed. And they say he was shaking the whole time. From the time he got in the chamber, he was shaking nonstop, but he didn't have no last words. And that was the end of his young life, man. 26 years old. But do we feel sorry for him? I don't. It's hard to pinpoint the exact impact that that trauma from the past has on individuals that will make them commit certain crimes, right? But that does not justify the brutal actions taking place by this young individual, man. I don't agree with it. I don't necessarily agree with capital punishment necessarily, but I don't agree with senseless life taking. It's very cowardly. It's very, 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 very gutless. It's coward. What you call that? Slime ball, belly to the ground, serpent type of moves. When you sneak up on a woman unsuspectingly and do something to her. Man. So it's like you think, and then you think about this. How many individuals get on phones and ruin their whole life? I don't want nobody out there who this reckless, because you never know, they might come on your doorstep, right? You might have to defend yourself against them, or could possibly lose one of your loved ones, depending on where he at, you know, what city he in and all that, right? But I don't agree with capital punishment, but I do think that certain individuals that perform on that level need to be taken care of, man. You know, hey, it is what it is, man. You know, as always, man, another Virginia story. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow for Church Crime Sunday. I'm going to wrap up this Virginia series probably next week. I got more crazy stories for y'all, though. This is just a sad situation that I experienced while I was down there. It didn't necessarily have nothing to do with me as far as my experience, but it's something I experienced, and it made me think about my actions. It made me think about all the people that I was around. It made me think about the dudes that I was coming up with, you know, and things that we had did and things that I witnessed. And I'm like, Michigan had this. A lot of these dudes to tighten up. You feel me? I don't know how Virginia rates against Michigan when it comes to crime rate, but with the capital punishment hanging over my head, the fear of a needle that's gonna take me up out the game, I tighten up it too. Come on, man. So hey, it is what it is, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all be safe. O_G_Kenny at Retired from the Streets TV for another installment of Let's Not Forget Friday, and I'm out.